Good news of the day. Jesus Christ died for our sins and has given you eternal life. He loves you infinitely and wants you to join him in eternal life in heaven with the Father and the Holy Spirit. You are valuable and important to him, and you have great worth in his eyes. If you are struggling or going through something difficult, you will get through it. You are strong. Jesus loves you and is with you. He is ready to be accepted into your heart at any time. Ask for forgiveness for your sins and accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, and you will be saved. Please know how loved and special you are and how you are an irreplaceable child of God. Stay strong and take care of yourself. I think a lot of Genshin Impact players that care about the story of Genshin Impact, including me, have noticed a stark divide in the community in recent months over one thing. What is that thing, you ask? The shoddy half-written part 2 of the Inazuma arc? Signora's unceremonious death? Ball's not even attempted redemption? No. As for the second part of the Inazuma Archon quest, everyone knows that was shit. Signora's death was a hot topic in the community for a while, but as not great as it was, most of the community has moved on. And as for Balls, I know her name is A, but I don't care, I hate that bitch. There are only brainless people and people who still love her to this day. I won't take this back, simps. So no, the divide in the story-loving Genshin community is over one thing: the Traveler themselves. And the main point of contention that I see about the Traveler is not the power level or power scaling of the Traveler, although we can make a whole another video about that disaster, but rather the treatment of the Traveler, not by the text, but by the other Genshin Impact characters themselves. For characters that Mihoyo goes out of their way to make us like, love, and spend money on, making them as visually and personality-wise as appealing and charming as possible in an attempt to seduce us to part ways with our hard-earned dollars to get the newest waifu or husbando of the month, there is one thing that those beloved waifus and husbandos don't do: help the self-insert character we play as with anything, and I mean it. They don't help the Traveler with anything. I was so pissed when I spent the whole Shenhe story quest, yes, that's what it was, not an Archon quest, fuck you, Mihoyo, helping Ningguang, the most boring bitch in the whole game, besides maybe Yanfei, and Ningguang is more annoying than Yanfei, so most boring and annoying bitch in the whole game. Oops, I forgot about Electro bitch number 2. Never mind, Ningguang is the second most annoying bitch in the game. We helped that rich bitch rebuild her whole fucking house, running through ridiculous hoops and trials. Traveler did, not me, to get her all kinds of rare material and magic rocks, only for Ningguang to rudely cut the Traveler off and then not give Traveler any reward at all for helping, rebuild her whole entire house. In fact, all rich rock bitch does is then directly drive poor Aether or Lumine into an actual war zone without their consent, knowledge, or permission, and then, well, you know. I mean, you have to remember, Traveler, when talking to Paimon, best girl in the game, they said that they wanted to help rebuild the Jade Chamber to win, yes, win, the question from Ningguang about their sibling, about the whereabouts of their siblings. The Traveler did not tell Paimon at the beginning of the quest that they wanted to rebuild the Jade Chamber for fun or out of a sense of complete selflessness or boredom, but the Traveler specifically tells Paimon at the beginning of the quest that they want the question from Ningguang to further their own quest, their own mission that they are desperately working towards. Good to see that someone has not forgotten about the main and real quest of this game, Mihoyo. The Traveler is doing this for the reward. Remember, the Traveler doesn't even know Ningguang well. They've canonically had 1, maybe 2 conversations with her, and all they talked about in those conversations were threats against Liyue, just business. The Traveler isn't besties with Ningguang and just wanted to help her rebuild her stupid fucking house because they just wanted to. The Traveler was doing it for a reason, to help her in her quest. But then when the Traveler wins after all their hard work in helping rebuild the Jade Chamber, and they get that rich bitch everything she wants, Ningguang, like I said earlier, rudely interrupts them, talks down to the Traveler like they're stupid, and then, like I said, drives them directly into danger without their permission or any warning. What the hell, Ningguang? Are you that awful a person, really? The rich bitch simps may argue, oh, but DC, she didn't know where the traveler's sibling was. She couldn't answer their question. She wasn't being rude to the traveler. She just didn't want to waste their time or get them disappointed. One, okay, that's fine that she didn't know where our sibling was, but then she should have asked right after, is there any other question that you have for me, traveler? Any question to my knowledge that I can answer for you, traveler, as your rightful reward for winning the contest. But no, Ningguang just brushes over the traveler and moves along to the others. Shenhe's questions are answered, Yunjin's questions are answered, even Paimon's question she rudely answers. Also, don't talk like that to my daughter, you rich bitch, or I'm gonna send you right off this stupid floating rock and into Bijma's mouth. Yeah, what a satisfying end to this chapter of the Archon quest that would be. But not Traveler's question. Traveler doesn't get the chance to ask another question. They don't get any chance to get any reward at all before they're thrown into a battle that they didn't agree to be in. The simps for Rock Bitch continue crying, but DC, Traveler only had one question in mind, so they wouldn't want anything else from Ningguang, like anything they told, like they wouldn't care about any other thing. But no, just fucking no. Traveler wants to know a lot of things. They literally prostitute their labor to that one Fatui guy in Mondstadt. I think his name was Victor, I don't remember. He's in the church for information. Traveler probably had millions of other questions that they wanted to ask Ningguang for. Here are 6 I thought of with literally no effort that were at the top of my head that the Traveler could have asked Ningguang and probably wanted to after their first question of where is my sibling. Like, she couldn't answer that. First one. Is there Abyss Order activity that you know about around Liyue? And if so, please share all that information with me. Second, what do you know as the Tianquan with vast resources, knowledge, and influence of a white-haired goddess with red cube magic? Does that fit any folklore or texts that you have ever heard of? And if not, could you please ask your researchers and connections to look into anything that might look like that for me? Another question, has there been any spottings of Abyss Heralds by the Millilith that might point me in the right direction of an Abyss stronghold? Another one, can you finance and support my journey to Sumeru as I search for the 7 after all I've done for Liyue? Another one, have you ever heard of any folklore stories or historical accounts of a blonde traveler with fantastical powers traveling around Teyvat before you met me? Those stories would be anywhere from 500 years ago to a few months old. And here's another question that's similar but still different. Have you heard of any folklore stories or historical accounts of a blonde traveling man with fantastical powers traveling around Teyvat before you met me? He wears dark blue and a partial mask over his eye. And the stories would be anywhere from 500 years ago to a couple months ago. Literally, there's 6 questions that I just thought of in like a few seconds. If I could put a few moments of thought into these questions, why couldn't the writers of Genshin Impact, who literally get paid to write this stuff? Yes, I know from a meta storytelling perspective, since it was a Shenhe story quest, Ningguang probably wouldn't have given Traveler any relevant plot information, but first of all, why not? They clearly want these story quests to be more impactful, but like, 2, I wouldn't feel so horrible if Traveler got some kind of answer to some question. But I mean, come on, like, Ningguang literally doesn't give them any reward at all for all the hard work they just did. I just feel really bad for the Traveler at this point. This leads me to my overall point of Traveler basically being a doormat and other characters in the game just treat them horribly, and it just makes me sad and angry. I mean, come on, Traveler literally does everything for these people, and they just treat the Traveler like their personal errand boy / girl. Everyone always asks, where is Traveler? But nobody ever asks, how is Traveler? Memes aside, Yoyamil was the only one other than Best Girl Paimon that got close. Like, in Yoyamiya's story quest, we have that genuine quiet moment with her, and she says that she's worried that if we, as the Traveler, keep going at this pace, we're not going to last much longer. And I, as the player, was genuinely surprised when that first happened, because, well, nobody does ask how the Traveler is, how the Traveler's feeling, how they're doing, how their quest for their sibling is going. Literally, all of these characters we meet, and might I add, help, usually in very substantial ways we help them, They never check on the traveler or want to know more about us. So Yoimiya, honestly, second best girl. She gets a pass. But everyone else, all the other playable characters, I am coming for you. I'm coming. I'm coming to your house. Like, they do not get to treat my boy/girl like this and get away with it. I'm going to just list a bunch of characters right now who have taken advantage of our pure-souled traveler. Might as well start in Mondstadt where this all started. First of all, Jean. We literally helped save her city from a dragon and busted an attempted hostile takeover of the city by the old aristocrats in Eula's story quest. And what do we get from Jean? What does Jean do to thank us for all of our deeds for her city? Oh yeah, nothing. Every time we see her, she just saddles us with another job as being the honorary knight, and what a cruel joke title that is. It's basically the Tavats equivalent of being a freelance employee, where you get all the jobs that nobody else wants, but your employers don't have to pay for any benefits or health insurance. Yay, that's basically being the honorary knight of Mondstadt. You just get all these jobs from the Grand Master and the other knights, but you don't actually get any substantial rewards or benefits from doing so. Once again, we helped and saved Mondstadt not once, but twice, yet we have not gotten a single concrete thank you or help from the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius this entire time. Not a thank you dinner, not a Mora paycheck, not a warm room to stay in the Favonius headquarters for the honorary knight, even though Aether/Lumine were literally homeless and sleeping in the outdoors at the time of helping Mondstadt with at least those first things, saving the city from a literal dragon of wind. Nothing, just a verbal thank you. Well, yippee, Jean, how am I going to feed my floating magic child with a thank you? Maybe try a fucking Mora paycheck next time, greedy bitch. Oh my gosh, I can't. Anyway, Venti. We literally helped save the Animo Archon's literal city, and he didn't give us any, I don't even think verbal, honestly. He didn't give us any thank you. But I'm going to kind of let this one go because Venti's like a depressed, barely functioning alcoholic who isn't even respected by his own worshippers. So honestly, what could he give us? But another example of somebody we helped out a lot, and Venti does not give the traveler any real thanks. By the way, I'm using us and traveler kind of interchangeably because the traveler is their own character, but also they're pretty heavily a self-insert, isekai stuff. I hate isekai, so I hate that I'm playing a game that's basically an isekai, but whatever. Maybe I like isekai deep down inside. But anyway, we're gonna keep going with all these characters that have just screwed us over. Diluc, Daddy, Ragnavinder, we basically help him in his story quest keep his stupid Batman secret identity, running back and forth with information from him, fighting in dangerous abyss strongholds with him, lying to the Knights of Favonius, the police, and the army in one of Mondstadt, yet we don't get any concrete help in our quest from Diluc either. He's literally so rich, but guess how all the rich people really do, I guess rich people really do just use the poor and then just discard them when they no longer have any use. I mean, you got to get rich somehow, right? But I'm just pointing out, Diluc's really rich. He could definitely help us, but he just doesn't. So that's the thing. Moving on to Liyue, I've already talked about that rich bitch, but Ningguang. Okay, Ningguang. We literally helped save her whole city and fought a Fatui harbinger single-handedly for her and won. What if we had lost? Would Child have come after Ningguang next? Probably, to find out where the Gnosis is. That dumb bitch. Also, without us, she may have not been able to beat Osile, and then the Adepti would have found her incompetent, and then, they would have done away with her. Only in my sickest fantasies. On to Zhongli. This lazy-ass retired good-for-nothing, okay? We saved his city, and he just doesn't care. We helped him fight Aztaha, and we've been his friend for a while, and when we needed him most, he vanished. No, he literally, we were like, hey, can you help us out? Tell us anything about Conry and our sibling, and he's like, no, I cannot tell you anything, and I mean anything about the main plot of the game, because of contracts and plot convenience. You suck, old man, come on, give us something. I'm not saying Zhongli should have, or that it even would have made narrative sense. It wouldn't have for Zhongli to, say, fuck the contract. I will tell you everything because I love you so much. We can leave that for the fanfics, ladies and gentlemen, which I will be enjoying. But couldn't he have given the traveler something? I mean, what did the contract forbid him from talking? Like, did it say he couldn't talk about anything from 500 years ago? Like, all of it, like every single bit of it? I mean, I would be shocked if it spelled out every single part. And like Zhongli just believes in abiding by his contracts, which, is a reasonable and honestly admirable character trait, so that's fine. But I don't know, couldn't if he recommended us a scholar or a researcher or like some old dusty book with some info on something that the traveler is floundering for, like some information on Conria or a lead? Like, does the contract forbid him from recommending us someone to talk to? I mean, he's like 6,000 years old. He must know a good place for us to start, and even if he couldn't do anything, like he couldn't, like the contract said, you can't even recommend someone for the traveler to talk to or a book for them to read or like anywhere, he could at least be more apologetic to the traveler about the whole thing. Like, I'm not saying the great Rex Lapis has to grovel for forgiveness. Like, I'm not a degenerate, okay? Don't worry. The fanfics will take care of that for us. God help us all. But like, unlike with Ningguang, the traveler and Zhongli are like pretty good friends in canon with Zhongli. Heck, we spend like 90% of the Leeway Arc Conquest just talking to this guy. We're like making him perfume and we're having meals together. We know what he likes, and like in the story quest, we've gone on journeys and solved problems and defeated bad guys together with this dude. We've heard his intimate thoughts and reflections on his past, and he trusts and cares like about the traveler enough to like tell the traveler about this, showing just how close they are. So at the very least, if Mahoya really wanted to hold their stupid lore and reveals so close to their chests that they couldn't even give us a crumb of a morsel of the main plot, at least have Zhongli lean down, put a hand on the traveler's shoulders, look into our eyes with a solemn and apologetic look, and kiss, cut. Okay, stop, and tell the traveler earnestly, I am sorry. I'm bound by my contract to silence on this matter, but I am so sorry. You're such a good friend of mine. It pains me to deny you this information I know you care so deeply about on this quest, but I cannot break my contract. You know the weight of a contract. Please forgive me. Like, I think that would have been fine. I wouldn't be roasting Daddy Zhongli in this segment if he had said that to me, but, although if he said that to me, I honestly don't think I would have ever recovered. But, we're just going to move on before I start ranting about Zhongli. So, once again, Zhongli just tersely tells the traveler, no, that he ain't giving us shit and that he doesn't have any tips or leads. Like, thanks, Grandpa. You fucking suck as bad as that rich bitch. So just go back to your early bird dinners and listen to people talk about you, you freaking narcissist. Bye. All right, we're going to move on to Beto. So this one is admittedly more minor, and I do feel like Beto would do this, but as one of the heroes of Leeway who helped save her city from a giant water god, like, the fact that we, like, want a boat ride to Inazuma, like, I feel like it's not that much to ask her to give us a ride for free to Inazuma, since her ships is one of the only ones that can pass through the storm somehow. We're not even really sure how that's possible. It's never explained. But anyway, you think as somebody who helped out her city so much, she would be like, sure, I'll take you, no problem. A friend of Leeway is a friend of mine. But literally, she makes the traveler fight for it. And I mean that completely literally. Like, this would be like if Spider-Man saved New York and then he was in a rush and he needed a cab ride to get somewhere. Why would he? I don't know. Just go with it. And then boom, the cabbie was like, hey, you're Spider-Man. That's so awesome. When you saved the city last night, that was a great relief. Without you, me and my whole family would be dead. And Spider-Man's like, great. I'm kind of in a rush. Can you take me somewhere? It's important. And then the cabbie's like, oh, of course, that'll be $50. And then Spider-Man's like, oh, like, tell me there's a difference. I'm waiting. Like, you poor soul, Lumine, Aether, you don't deserve this kind of abuse. Like, Beto literally makes us fight in a martial arts tournament for a fucking boat ride. Like, and she does trade in Inazuma, so she would have gone anyway. Like, I'm just so sick of this. Why they treat my boy or girl like this? Like, this is so sickening. Moving on to Inazuma. So, Yai Miko, okay, that little fox bitch, okay, literally without us, without the traveler, She couldn't have brought A out of her pouting dungeon, and yet she didn't do shit for us after. Just proof she never really cared about us. She just used us like a tool and then disposed of us when we weren't useful anymore. Kokomi, okay? She knows that we fought the Raiden Shogun and won, right? And ended her war? We fought a god to protect her stupid ass men, and she gave us a victory feast? Yay. I mean, I'm gonna give Kokomi the benefit of the doubt and say that we never told her we literally fought the Raiden Shogun to change her mind. For some reason, I guess the pure-hearted Lumine / Aether just didn't want to bring that up because they're literally such a good person. Like, they're such a good person. I feel bad for them. I mean, everyone just takes advantage of us. And also the whole Enkonomiya world quest, like, why the hell are we risking our lives for a Watatsumi ritual challenge thing? Like, are we gonna get a reward for whatever the fuck is happening in that quest? No, I guarantee not, because the Mihoyo writers want to make me hate even nice fish girls. I mean, that was just so ridiculous to me. Like, shouldn't a warrior from Watatsumi Island, since it's to save their island, be doing that instead of the traveler, just like a random person who is a war hero and really strong, but like, doesn't that defeat the whole point of the trial? Like, couldn't Kokomi go down there herself? Like, she is the leader of her people. Like, if she's not worthy of the coral, then like, who is? I don't know. I just like, that was kind of dumb. I'm not gonna lie. That was some isekai shit right there, and I'm not a fan, to be honest. Okay. Now we're going to do Ayaka, okay? Now if I say her name wrong in this, I apologize. I always say, like, Ayaka, and my brother always, like, he, like, fumes, and I'm like, I don't care. Ayaka, Ayuka, who cares? You know who I'm talking about. The girl with the big-ass forehead. That's who I'm talking about, okay? So, her Sims might want to cover their ears because I'm really going to lay into this one, okay? Ice bitch over here really grinding my gears hard, and you know why? Because this bitch, before she even meets us once, starts deciding for us that we are going to help her challenge a deity. Like, so Traveler comes, and they express that they have no interest, literally outright refusing multiple times, that they don't want to be involved, that they don't want to fight the Shogun, they don't want to be part of a rebellion, they just want to meet the Shogun. They make that explicitly clear. But Ayaka, she doesn't know that no means no. She thinks no means yes. And she literally starts to hold over the Traveler's head what they really want, okay? And then she starts forcing the Traveler to do side quests that they didn't want to do, only so she can guilt trip the Traveler into it. Because once again, the Traveler is like a super kind and nice person. Of course they couldn't say no after being extorted into seeing all that human suffering. Then Ayaka, after making Traveler, not her or her manservant, commit acts of war against the ruling government, decides it's a good time now to make the Traveler come along with her to grow closer to her dead mom. Fuck you, Ice bitch. I was rolling my eyes so fucking hard in my head. They about rolled out of my sockets. She was running after us, demanding we help her with some personal problem when we are terrorists now, bitch. Thanks to you. Every day that we don't do something, now that we agreed to help you, someone's vision is being taken against their will and they become a shell of their former selves, and you think it's time to go to a festival? Like, what is wrong with you? And then B, the Traveler doesn't fucking know you, bitch. We spoke to her maybe like a total 30 minutes, and now she wants to drag us around to look for her dead mommy? Like, fuck off, game. Seriously? Like, I'm not sure. I'm sure some of this was like bad writing and not at all like Ice Bitch's fault, but like I have to level into the writing because like what was that? I gotta lay into it. I laughed out loud when Ayaka said she couldn't trust anyone with this super private family issue. Bitch, then why are you talking to me? I'm a stranger who you guilt-tripped into becoming a terrorist like 2 hours ago. How about you talk about this super private family issue to I don't know, Toma, your maid and friend who you've known many, many years. Like, Toma can't help you with your fucking mommy issues, or I don't know, your elder brother who, one, actually knew your mom and would, I don't know, probably fucking appreciate learning about her as well, instead of, I don't know, a literal stranger. Unless it's revealed later, like, why, it's like, unless it's revealed later that Ayaka and her brother Ayato have a bad relationship, that writing choice will always perplex me. Just why? That quest was so awkward. All of it was. When the Sims are saying that they were so emotionally moved by Ayaka's story quest and like they were crying, I'm just like, boy, you are blinded by the pretty ice woman and her jiggle physics armor, which is so dumb it makes me want to uninstall life, because her quest wasn't deep and it made no sense narratively speaking. Anyway, later, Ice Bitch is still not done bleeding the traveler dry like a vampire. She's like, I can still get some more out of them. So later, Ayaka literally lets Traveler be the one to, I don't know, challenge a literal psychotic and sadistic god publicly and become an enemy of the state. For Ayaka's friend, I mean, come on, this is getting ridiculous. Like, do you know what my respect for Ice Bitch would be if she had denied our request to help? Of course, Traveler would have helped anyway, and said when Toma was in danger of having his vision taken, no, Toma is my friend and I'm going to save him. Like, OMG, if that happened, if good writing for female Genshin characters actually happened, I would be smitten. My girl crush would have been intense. But no, once again, I guess we have to leave the more interesting what ifs to the fanfic writers, because again, the Traveler does way more for Ayaka in 2 to 3 days than most husbands do for their wives in a lifetime. And what do we get from Ayaka in the future? A lead in our quest to find our sibling, resources for our journey ahead. I mean, the bitch is rich. It wouldn't hurt her pocketbook too much, you know what I'm saying? A sincere, tearful speech of gratitude, which still wouldn't be great, but you know, it would be something. No, we get wet socks from her and nothing else. And that weird ass circle dance with the soggy ass socks. Ayaka was just grateful our cool ass went to be with her lonely, friendless ass to a festival. Like, that's the only reason she did that little dance. Not because, I don't know, we became a wanted criminal with an actual legit god chasing us and trying to kill us because she asked us to. Just saying, just saying. So, if all these examples have proven one thing to you, it should be, wow, I never realized it, but the other playable characters in this game treat Traveler like, well, shit. And yeah, you would be right, because they do. And as a player who enjoys the story, that is a big problem, because you may have noticed by now, I mentioned it once earlier, a lot of the time when I'm talking about the Traveler, I use the pronoun us. I did this because, well, Traveler as a character doesn't really have much character, ironically enough. They're a mostly silent protagonist who relies on a friendly floating space child to do their talking for them. Even we as the player don't know much about Traveler's past, wants, or personality. We know that they're a little mischievous with the ones they love, like Paimon. We know that they care more about family than anything else. In their constant quest to find their sibling, we know that the Traveler is selfless, brave, heroic, and kind to an almost inhuman level, but that's all we know, you know? And as much as my pride stings because how I am an intellectual, okay, and I'm like, this isn't an isekai, it isn't an isekai, because I am an intellectual who doesn't like isekai, but you know, as I mentioned earlier, Genshin Impact, it is an isekai. And so that means that we as players are meant to like self-impose and imagine ourselves as the Traveler. That is the explicit intent. That's why the Traveler rarely speaks or express opinions. It's why the Traveler is the most special human in all of Teyvat, and they can wield all the elements, not just one. Even the Archons can't do that. And why the Traveler is skilled and talented at all things from cooking to battle without ever training or struggling on screen. Because, well, they're not really supposed wants to be a unique, well-written character who feels like a real person, they're supposed to feel like you, like the player. The traveler is supposed to feel how the player feels. And that's why a traveler teases Paimon sometimes, because some players think that Paimon's annoying. That's why traveler seems to go on actual dates with every hot person in Teyvat, because all Genshin players think that at least some character is hot and wants to go on a date with them. Traveler gets invited to the beach, summer arc with the Mondstadt crew, because the player wants to experience a fun beach summer arc with the Mondstadt crew. You know what I'm saying? The traveler is just a stand-in for the player, okay? And I think that that is the very reason why the story-loving Genshin community is divided on the treatment of the traveler within the text. One side is more invested in the actual plot of Genshin Impact, the world, the villains, the mysterious Conria, Celestia, Dainsleif, and our sibling, and therefore, as the traveler, as their self-insert character, those people in the community want to move the plot forward. They want answers. They want more information. They want to actually find their sibling, or interact with our sibling more than one conversation and then Aether / Lumi just F's off into the void. So while that that's what they want, is the plot to go forward. But the other half of the community, they also use Traveler as a self-insert, but they use the Traveler in more of a slice of life dating simulator kind of way. Those players, they don't care much about the lore and the Conria and the sibling quest. They care about having a fun time at the Moonchase Festival with all their Liyue buddies and seeing Klee fish blast happily on the summer islands with all their Mondstadt friends. So those players, they don't see what's wrong with not having the story quest, progress quickly enough, and they don't think that hard about how or who the traveler, the character, is, and how they really don't have a personality, and what we do know of them, it just makes them a vessel for us, because what they want to see is just Kaya and Diluc bickering on an island, or helping Shenglin make the perfect recipe to win a cooking contest, and Traveler for them is just a vessel for which they can witness and participate in those activities, okay? And by the way, I'm not saying that either of those halves of the community is right or wrong, or that one's bad or good. I'm also not saying you can't be in both these camps. For example, I have an older brother who enjoys the lore-based Abyss, Conria, siblings, actual plot of the game. He likes that, but he actually prefers the slice of life stuff significantly more, and undeniably so. But myself, I absolutely I am on the other side. I'm in both camps, but I have a preference too. So me, I absolutely lost my shit when I was seeing Kaya and Diluc interact on the Apple Archipelago Islands. Please, Moya, I just want them to be happy again. I love the slice of life content, but I definitely, unlike my brother, prefer the lore stuff more. I am heavily invested emotionally in the traveler's story of being reunited with their sibling. I'm invested in knowing the truth of the cataclysm 500 years ago, what caused Dane and our sibling to fall out, what is the truth of this world that we need to learn? Tell me, Moya, what is it? I'm going crazy. I want to know that. I want to know that. I want to reunite with our sibling. I need it. I need it. I need it. That SpongeBob thing. I need it. Okay? But not everybody, I sound crazy, but not everybody cares as much about that stuff as I do, which, fair enough. Some people, they just want to chill on the islands, or, have Kaching eat the shrimp or whatever. I don't really know. But anyway, so some players, even the ones that are heavily invested into the story, they don't care that Ningguang doesn't help the traveler at all, in spite of all we've done for her, because they like Ningguang, or they are Sims who think that she's hot, okay? And some players, they don't care that Jean doesn't give us any kind of help or reward for all our heroic deeds and all of the help that we give to the city of Mondstadt, because, well, those players like Jean. They think she's cool, or they think she's hot, or they just like her gameplay, okay? I don't really know. And the same can be used for any of my examples. Those people in the community, they just overlook the objective treatment of the traveler by these characters, because since the traveler is just them, just a self-insert, they can't imagine the traveler being upset or frustrated at their lack of progress towards finding their sibling, because, well, they aren't upset or frustrated by the fact that we haven't had any progress in the main quest since the Dainsleif quest, which came out a long time ago now. Not even a mention of the main plot. And none of that is a wrong opinion. I want to stress that again. Those players can play and enjoy whatever parts of the game they want, and they aren't bad or wrong for thinking that they just prefer the more slice of life stuff, and they're not super invested in the plot, and they don't want it to advance, or they aren't, not that they don't want it to advance, but they aren't foaming at the mouth like I am, they really want it to advance. But also, the players that do want the plot to progress and they're fed up with the treatment of the traveler in game, they aren't wrong either. So both sides are not wrong, just a difference of opinion. I just think, like, Mihoyo wrote these plot points into the game. They did this to themselves. Players that are fed up with the traveler's treatment boils down to this. Those players are really frustrated that nothing is happening in the main story of Genshin Impact. Of course, things and stories take time to make. Quests take a whole team of writers, animators, game designing engineers to create, and I completely understand this. But, like, the bond of the siblings, that's the whole hook of Genshin Impact. It is the entire hook of Genshin Impact. Before you know Jean or Venti or Zhongli or Ningguang or Raiden or Toma, before you're roaming the beautiful open world, exploring the gorgeous landscape, doing unique puzzles and fighting fun enemies, before you even learn who the Toritsa is or what the Seven are, you are shown a simple and heart-wrenching scene. Two siblings, twins, who love each other more than anything in the world. Separated, stolen, ripped apart from one another, and the horror of the one left behind crying out in a hoarse, panicked voice, "Give me my brother, give me my sister back." So maybe Mihoyo isn't ready for the main plot to go forward. Maybe they need more time to make the quest as professional and polished as we expect from them. That's understandable, to a point anyway. So what do they do in the meantime? Should they keep having characters treat Traveler like a walking servant without giving them anything in return? I mean, we can't have those characters just leading the Traveler to their sibling, right? That would be moving way too quickly. So they think that they can just keep making these characters that they're supposed to be marketing towards the consumers as lovable and desirable, but they think they can also make those characters who are lovable and desirable, or supposed to be, also treat the self-insert character like dog shit? No, Moe, this is not how you do it, Moya. Please grow some brain cells. What is this? Like, I'll give you the answer you're looking for, okay? That the mythical answer in the sky that you're squinting for, okay? At least I thought of, like, in like 5 seconds, okay? The answer to this problem of making the playable characters in-game that interact with the Traveler be less shitty towards the Traveler and also not advance the plot because you seem allergic to doing that. The answer to it is gratitude. Just have the other playable characters that interact with the Traveler show some sincere gratitude when the Traveler does something deserving of it. Like, I don't know, Mihoyo, maybe including saving their city from complete destruction. And not just verbal gratitude either. Empty words are just that. Empty. It's your actions that matter. Just ask anyone in real life. Go outside and touch grass, okay? When you bend over back for a friend and they say thanks, you say you're welcome, but you don't really need their words, you need their actions. So when you're in trouble, when they show up to bend over backward for you, you're touched and you know that they actually meant what they said and you know that they're a real friend. So have Jean, after we help her in Mondstadt, her come up to us and be like, "Hey, do you want a room at the Knights of Favonia's headquarters so that the Traveler and Paimon have a safe place to sleep for the night?" She wants to give us reward like money or other goods, but the Traveler refuses because they're like, a warm place to sleep when I've been literally sleeping in the fucking forest is more than enough, okay? Like, that is some simple, tangible gratitude for helping her out and, I don't know, saving her city from a giant dragon. Have Ningguang give us a shit ton of mora for helping in the fight to save Leeway from Osile in the Archon quest. Maybe Traveler is embarrassed and doesn't want to take the money, but Ningguang insists. Maybe Traveler even does end up getting out of accepting the mora because Traveler's just like so pure-hearted and like, oh, I could never. But then they're shocked next time they try to pay for their groceries in Leeway because the merchant tells them that the Tianquan has ordered all the merchants not to allow the Traveler to pay, that the Tianquan personally will be covering all of their bills while in Leeway, and it's illegal to accept payment from the Traveler so that the kind Traveler can't just force their mora on the shopkeeper. And then you could have this really cinematic and like emotional scene where Aether/Lumine, they look up at the rebuilt Jade Chamber and they tear up because the one thing Ningguang values most is mora, and to give it away, she must be really thankful for their help. Once again, that's just an example, but it's like something tangible that character Ningguang in this case is doing to show the traveler that they actually care, that they help them out, you know? I got an example for the Ice Queen herself, though, the vampire of Tava, okay, in terms of like taking, okay? So here's an example. Maybe Ayaka, she could finance the traveler's journey to Sumeru because she's rich and she could invite the traveler over to her house and like not only to enjoy our company for her lonely ass, but also she takes the time to ask us how we're doing, how the search for our sister is going, promising to help in any way that she can if it's within her abilities. And she doesn't just say it either. She does help us when we ask. Because that is what real friendship is, what a real bond is. Not one person always doing everything and receiving nothing. That's not friendship. That's taking advantage of someone. All of these changes I proposed, just having the characters I criticized and plenty of others I left out because they were less egregious, but they could still do this too, be more grateful, kind, and thoughtful to the traveler, would make a huge difference in how I and many other players feel about these characters and how I feel about their bond with the traveler, also their bond with me. Now, when I start a new 5-star story quest, I cringe when the travelers approach because as the player, I just wonder, oh great, what do they want now? What stupid errand or dangerous shit do they need me to do now? So much so that I'm pleasantly surprised, like in Ito's story quest, when the character, especially when they are total strangers to the traveler, don't immediately want or need something from the traveler, but instead the traveler just gets to hang out with them and like be in their presence because the traveler wants to, not because the traveler feels they need to. An easy way that the writers of Genshin Impact's story could make the traveler's relationship with other characters feel less one-sided is to have those characters not only help the traveler with their needs like money, housing, and supplies, but also in helping them on their actual quest, leading them to the next region themselves, or giving them leads on the Abyss and their sibling. Now, I completely understand that the writers might not be ready to move forward with the main storyline every time there's a character story quest or story event, so I've thought of a solution for that. Let's give an example. Let's say next time Amber's in the story. We're friends with her, we've helped her many times before. She approaches us and she says that she's found an abyss mage or a creature of the abyss in a domain or area nearby while scouting out doing her outrider stuff. And that she knows that our sibling is somehow linked to the abyss, and she knows we're looking for a sibling. So she offers to take the traveler there and then fight and interrogate the monster with them together. We do this, and we're like, yes, Amber's helping us, we're moving forward in the story, but somehow the monster either gets away, is unrelated to the abyss actually, and it was misidentified, or doesn't have any helpful information. It would basically be like the playable characters like helping the traveler in their quest, or at least attempting to help, and in a way that like doesn't actually force the writers of Genshin to like write full-on like abyss storylines, you know what I'm saying, and actually move the story forward. I think these would be really easy plot hooks, and they would get the traveler to go somewhere and make it feel really urgent and important and make the player feel like they're actually going to make progress in the main story, but then not actually advance the main plot. This might annoy players after a while after they figure out what the writers are doing, but at least then they'd be annoyed at the writers and not the characters we're supposed to be quote unquote friends with and find likable and appealing. Like in my hypothetical example, how could Amber have known that that monster would be a dead end? Like we would be like, Amber, we appreciate you helping us move forward the story, And as long as the main story did progress at reasonable intervals, I don't think that this would make the players too upset. In fact, I feel like they were doing something like more important in their quest rather than, I don't know, helping Yanfei solve a random legal dispute between two NPCs, or with Ayaka literally just farting about and talking about her dead mom. Like, going with Amber to possibly investigate some abyss activity would be like much more pressing and feel like important and grand. Here's just some other little examples I thought of that could just be thrown in there. Like, Ganyu could give us a lead about an Abyss Herald we saw, and we could go investigate it together with her. Diluc could share some Abyss Order plans he stole while he was out being the Dark Knight hero, and we could, get together with him and help him decipher it. The list goes on and on. This would just be a really natural way to draw the Traveler into other different conflicts that don't involve the Abyss or the Fatui, and it wouldn't make the Traveler feel so much like an errand boy / girl. I also just feel like it would be a super natural way to transition into these story quests that are more like character focused rather than we show up character we have seen before, or maybe not, but usually we have seen them before, comes up to the traveler and then asks for another favor after they've already asked for favors in the past, and like we don't get anything and they don't ask how we are. They're just like, do something for me. Like an example is with this new kind of like story device that I think would be good. You could be exploring an abyss stronghold with Ula, and you guys are like fighting in a herald or an abyss mage or something to investigate about your family, and then like you like suddenly like one of her family members is in the domain, and then you like overhear stuff about her family, and then you're kind of drawn into her like character story, and it's like a pretty natural transition because Ula was just helping you, so of course you would want to help her back. Or like another example would be like you're fighting an abyss lector with Shao, but then at the end of the fight his karmic debt like hurts him immensely, and then you're drawn naturally into learning more about his backstory and condition, and you start a story quest with him. So you see how that feels more natural? Like it feels more natural at least than the traveler shows up for no discernible reason, character sees us, and then immediately gives us a dangerous task to do with no reward. Like I think what I came up with is a little bit better, and I'm sure there's even better ways to do it. And that's not the only solution to this problem that, like, I think it would solve, okay? Like, obviously, it would help with the other characters treating Traveler like shit, but, like, that's just, like, an easy, quick one I thought of at the top of my head, but it has even more benefits. It would also give us a reason to be there at, like, crucial plot moments. Like, where right now, it kind of feels like the Traveler is, like, out of place in certain scenes. Like, a great example of this was in Zhongli's second story quest, where Zhongli and Aztaha were like reminiscing about each other at the end. Like that didn't involve the traveler in any way, so it was like kind of awkward. We were literally just like standing there like, okay, these two old farts just talking about the past or whatever, but like if we add an element of like the abyss, or like Zhongli trying to help us with the abyss, like let's say the abyss had like helped awaken Aztaha, or at least he suspected that they were, and then boom, all of a sudden it makes total narrative sense, and it's important for the traveler to be there and be involved and be present for that scene that the writer wants us to see. Or like another example is like with Raiden and Raiden Puppet like dueling in the recent story quest. Like that was really business like between them, and like we were completely unnecessary, but let's change it so that Raiden A was helping us look for abyss signs, like signs of the abyss, moments before her body froze up due to her puppets, who I hate calling that because the puppet's sentient, so can Mahoya please give her an actual name? But anyway, the puppet's interference. So all of a sudden it feels more natural for the traveler to be so set on helping A, because A was just helping us. Because friends help each other. You get my drift? Yeah, I mean, I hope you do. That's how friendship works. Anyway, that about sums up my rants. Basically, I'm just tired of seeing the poor traveler, who I have to play as, by the way, get treated like a doormat, my poor precious baby. They literally do nothing but help people and sacrifice for other people. And sacrificing for other people is heroic. Like, am I saying we, like, shouldn't have helped save Mondstadt from a dragon, and we shouldn't have helped Li Wei when it was going to be drowned by Osile? Thanks, child. But, like, no, of course we should have done those things, or like help the poor people that A was brutally oppressing her own people. Go watch my A Rant video if you haven't. I'll probably link it in the iCard or whatever. But like, no, of course we should have done those things. Like, those are super heroic things, but like, that's the thing. They're heroic. And like, in most games, when you do heroic things, you get rewards. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, you shouldn't be a hero for the rewards, but like, especially when the game is trying to set up this narrative that like, we're like great friends with all these characters, and like, we have such a close bond, and like, a lot of them even make a point of saying like, you're the only one I can trust, or like, I really feel a connection with you. Okay, well then why don't you ever, I don't know, give me anything in return for what I do, And once again, like, even if they weren't going to give us physical things, like a gratitude, like, checking in on us, caring about us, asking how our quest was going, even if they didn't have the means to go out looking for abyss strongholds with us. But it's like, I just get really sick of seeing these one-sided relationships where, the traveler just gives and gives and gives and gives and never gets anything in return. Maybe for me personally, it just hits a little too close to home. I'm not sure, because I've definitely had friendships like this where you're just so eager to please the other person, and they keep asking you to make sacrifice after sacrifice for them, but they never give anything back. So maybe just seeing my self-insert character get treated like that, like, triggers me a little bit, But, like, I don't think it should only trigger or like make uncomfortable or unhappy people who've had like shitty friendships or relationships like that. I think like it's a general like storytelling thing. Like if why does the traveler do all this stuff if they're not going to get anything in return for it? And once again, I get they're a hero and that they're selfless, but like even so, it's more of like not the traveler, because the traveler's been selfless. We've already established that, and they're doormat. Fine. But why are all the other characters who we're supposed to like okay with just taking advantage of them? Like, don't they like care about the traveler? Isn't that like part of the appeal, is that you're making deep friendships and maybe more than that with these characters in the game? Isn't that part of the appeal? But like, no, they just seem okay with taking advantage of the traveler, you know, to differing degrees. Like I said, like Yoimiya at least has the decency to check on us, to ask, like, how are you? You seem tired, you know? But like others, they just like take and take. Like, it really bothered me, like Ayaka, because she just pressures us, like, and manipulates us into becoming a terrorist, and then her first thing is to see what she can get out of us, you know, have us go around for her needs, you know, to find out of her dead mom and take her to a festival she's always wanted to go to. But it's like, okay, girl, but like, what are you going to do for the traveler? Like, the traveler's already made so many sacrifices for you in a short amount of time, but it's like, just nobody seems to care about them. And I just feel like that's really sad, because it's like, the traveler's all alone except for Paimon, and Paimon is best girl, because Paimon, as much as y'all love to bitch about how annoying Paimon is the only person who actually gives a shit about the traveler and about the traveler's quest. Paimon has been here since day one, and Paimon puts her own needs and wants aside for the traveler's quest, and like has just always been there for us since day one. Okay, Paimon, best girl. Okay, Anyway, I hope I'm not alone in these sentiments, because I've definitely seen in the community some other people express these viewpoints, like, especially with, like, the whole thing with Zhongli, like, he wouldn't tell us anything. I saw a lot of angry comments, like, when that happened, because they were just like, really? Like, after everything we've done for you, you can't give us anything? And I was like, yeah, you tell him. But, yeah. Anyway, I hope I have proved to you that the traveler is treated like absolute dog shit by every single character. Not every single one, because Paimon exists, okay? And some are worse than others. Like I said, you know, I don't think Amber, like, you know, treats us as shitty as Jean does, you know, or anything like that, you know. Or Diluc or anything like that. But, you know, like, there's layers, you know, but I just want to point it out. And once again, I think it would be an easy change to the writing style. I already gave my solution, like what I would do. I would just have the characters that we're supposedly friends with, I don't know, occasionally inquire, like, about how we are, like, about our well-being, but also actually help us on our quest, even if all those leads don't work out. You know, that's natural when you're on an investigation. Not every lead is going to bring you to, you know, the murder weapon or whatever, you know. So that's just my quick idea. There's probably other ways to solve it, but like, that's just what I thought of. And also, as I'm kind of ending out the video here, first of all, I hope you enjoyed. Had fun making it. I really like ranting, but I swear every time I start cussing into my microphone, my parents walk by. It's just like a curse. It's like if I'm filming a normal video where I'm not like cussing and ranting, they won't walk by. But if I'm cussing and ranting, they always walk by. And I'm like, it's cursed. It's just cursed. It's like when I say cuss words, they just like teleport to my door. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. I wanted to mention this because I couldn't find a way to fit it naturally into the script, although I kind of went off script a little bit, but whatever. Earlier, I want to mention Rich Bitch again, because I ain't done with her. Okay, I will never be done with Rich Bitch. Okay, that sounds like I'm obsessed with her, but like, I just hate her. I just hate her. Anyway, she does give us a job offer. I wanted to mention that because the Rich Bitch simps might be in the comment section trying to defend the queen. Okay, I don't care. She does give us a stupid job offer in the Shenhe quest, and she's like, you could have as much more as you desire if you come work for me in the Jade Chamber. That, like, really ticked me off, too, because I was like, we literally built your Jade Chamber, dumbass. Like, you know, we had some help, but it's like, she knows that the traveler is not going to take up, like, a steady, like, office job or secretary work. Like, the traveler has a journey to go on. She knows that. At least I assume she knows that. Maybe she doesn't, because they've really never talked, but like, I'm pretty sure that she knows we're not going to take that deal. So it just seems like she's like trying to get more work out of us with like, or like excuse herself for not paying us because, oh, if you took this job, I'd pay you so much money. But because you just, I don't know, help me in so many other ways and help save my city from destruction multiple times, I'm not gonna do that. Like, really shitty. She's literally like the richest woman in the Genshin universe, and she can't spare us a couple hundred mora, 1,000 mora, 100,000 mora, anything. Oh my gosh, Rich Bitch is like, after Raiden, worst character in the story, okay? Absolutely. So, that is my rant, and I hope you enjoyed it, because I had fun making it. And I just want to mention, because I always mention this at the end of my videos, if you're going through something hard, if something's real fucked up in your life right now, if you're not happy, it's going to be okay. You're going to get through it. There's people that love you, that care about you. God loves you very much. Jesus died for your sins. And, you're going to get through this. And I mean that 100% genuinely, like, no cap, okay? So, I love you. I know what it's like to go through hard times. And, you're a homie. And you're going to get through this. So, I hope y'all have an amazing day. Enjoy spring, if it's spring where you are. It's spring where I am. And I'm loving the weather. So, I hope y'all are loving that weather too. And yeah, all right, everybody. Have an amazing day. I have some other Genshin videos. If you like this one, maybe go check them out. The Raiden one's real ranty, if you like that style. Other one on Lantern Right's a little more restrained. So you can check that out if this one wasn't really your style. Also, I apologize for any times I stuttered in the video. You know I'm bad at editing, so we just leave that shit in there. Anyway, also got some other videos on my channel you might be interested in, so you can go check those out if you want. If not, totally understand, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Mwah. Bye.